This song's called Rain and Thunder.
Don't you see it's cruel to me? That's what makes me mad.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Franko. Welcome to another edition of PE Live. We are here at Hangar 24 in Redlands, and I'm joined by the Higgs. I'm so excited that you guys are here. And I'm even more excited because your name is a physics name, and I love physics.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Because you used to be the Higgs boson. Okay, so wait a minute. Number one, how do you come up with the name, the Higgs boson? Like, are you physicists or just physics fans?
No.
Physics fans.
Fans, more or less.
Just the whole thing was a cool idea, you know, when we were all hanging out one night and talking about, you know, the whole idea of the God particle, and it was just kind of made sense when we were trying to figure out band names, you know. What was this, 3 years removed now, sitting in the garage trying to figure it all out.
Yeah.
So.
And then, but then the boson went away.
The boson went away because we have some pretty funny early live material when we were still Higgs boson, and I don't think I ever heard one person who was introducing us on a stage ever say it correctly. It was just like, you'd have the people come up afterwards and be like, I know how to say Higgs boson, but then they're like, Higgs boson, boson, like I've heard it all, it's great, but yeah, we kind of just dropped it. It's a little easier on the off the tongue, I think.
Well, how did you guys start playing together?
I met Spencer. I did a recording with him. He was going to school in Fullerton, and I helped him out on a project he was doing. Just did some guitar and vocals on a song that I wrote, and it's a song that we actually still play as the Higgs. And yeah, so from there, Spencer knew Marco and was already playing with the Higgs boson, and we just started transforming new players, new sounds, new music, and right now we've come to a place where we have a whole new lineup, and we're the Higgs now. We've changed. Yeah.
But as the Higgs, you guys have a lot of different influences. Can you talk a little bit about your various influences and kind of how the sound has evolved over the last 3 years?
Yeah, we got him. He listens. Warren's all into like Zappa and Lean and like all this like
all the weird
funky,
stuff,
like snarky puppy and like all this cool stuff. Spencer and I are into a lot of the same styles of music. We're big into jam bands, Grateful Dead, Fish, Widespread Panic, String Cheese Incident, but then all of your good classic rock, you know, Floyd and just whatever, you know, just good music. And Marco, our other guitar players, into like soul and blues, like just all that old school Motown, and it's just we got a lot of different influences coming from a lot of different places. And we like to jam too. We like to improvise.
Well, is that where a lot of like the songwriting? Does a lot of the songwriting come from just jamming, or?
Sometimes for parts of the songs. A lot of the actual structured songs come from someone sitting in a room writing them themselves. But when it comes to the band, it transforms, and there's parts that definitely come up from just.
And it seems like somebody will come with an idea, and they already have an idea of, okay, here's the song that I have. Here's, you know, chorus, verse, but then, you know, right here we'll do a chorus, verse, and then we want a fat jam, and then that's where the creativeness starts. And you know, you start and say, okay, what are we going to go from here? And then we'll sit in the garage for a couple hours and just play around with a couple different feels and say, okay, now we have a couple different options to go with and kind of thing. So
yeah,
and then we have our that's very much how we kind of a little bit different than most jam bands, just because a lot of jam bands are either all jam and no song, or you know, I find, you know, the blend is a little lacking sometimes. So we are very song oriented, but we definitely have our improvisational parts that we can have some fun with.
So you guys are working on a full length.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tell me about that. How's that going?
Well, we're doing it at my studio. I have a studio in Anaheim called Hear No Evil, recording studio. And we kind of like tracked a few drum tracks before we left for tour, and so we're just kind of like building on those. And how many songs are we gonna do? Like 10 or 12 or something?
10, 11,
like first
yeah.
full-length album, and like it's cool because it's like our studio, so we don't really have any time constraints on anything. So it's really like we can be really nitpicky and get through and like do like really what we want to do and not have like anybody like behind us, you know, or like a time constraint or money or whatever. You know.
Already, it's a lot different than the EP that we did in 25-hour marathon session, like 2-day, 12-hour sessions. You know, just go in and get it done because you're on a budget, so you got to save some cash. So it's definitely nice to not have the time constraints and let the creativity come out.
Absolutely.
So what else is ahead for the rest of 2013 and the beginning of next year?
Probably for the rest of this year, just handling the album, getting that recorded. 2014, getting the album out there, going back on tour, getting everybody involved. Yeah.
And where can people find you online so they can find out what you're up to and they can be part of the people involved?
Well, Facebook, Spotify, Twitter, iTunes, all kinds of places.
Reverb Nation.
We do have the HiggsMusic.com. You can check that out, and that's got a good link to everything on there too to get you to all the fun stuff. Google Play, almost anywhere you can buy music.
Instagram, Twitter.
Everywhere. I love it.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.